Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so awesome to be back with you. Well, here I am today. I'm sitting and looking at one of my new charms. That's right. This is my new evil eye charm. Check this out. Isn't this cool? I just got this. It came from Greece, and it's done in sterling silver with little zirconias, and it's got the eye in the middle. Isn't that great? And you know why I bought this one? I love this because it's got a light blue eye. A lot of times you'll see these in dark blue or a cobalt blue, and I think it's kind of cool to see it in a pale blue. So I got this. It's another piece of my collection. Those of you who've been following, you know, we did a video the other day. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It was on the evil eye, and that was on Wednesday, Wiccan Wednesday. We talked about the evil eye, and I showed you my jewelry collection of evil eye charms. And you know Psychic Bob, he's an addict, so I need another eye, right? Of course I do, so I got my new one. Anyways, hope you guys will like that. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's called The Evil Eye and Its Remedy. And, you know, this week we've been having a lot of really great videos. A lot of you have been writing saying how much you've enjoyed this week's programs. So we did on Wednesday, we did the Evil Eye video about the Evil Eye charm. Then we did on Thursday, we did the mystical red thread bracelet, the red string bracelet. So if you didn't see that, check that out. Yesterday we talked about artwork, and I showed you my newest paintings. And if you didn't see that, check that out. All of these are in the queue before this video. Just a quick reminder though, before I forget, talking about art, if you have not done so yet, make sure that today you go to my website, PsychicBob.com. That link will be below, and get your free download copy of this painting. This is my newest painting. It's called Biomorph 1952. A lot of you wrote to me yesterday and said how much you love this painting. So if you want to get a copy, you can get a free copy for free download and print at my website, PsychicBob.com. It's got instructions over there how to do it. This is the last day. Hear me, guys, last day. It will not be available after today, so make sure to get it, okay? A lot of you said, oh, I got to get that. I love it. I just keep forgetting to download it. Go get it. Last day. I'm not going to have it up again. So these are limited edition, original Psychic Bob prints. Okay, so, well, welcome. It is Saturday, and for those of you who are new here, every Saturday we gather and we have a little class. It's our Spiritualist Class. And then we also have a little seance. So I got to put on my evil eye here. Got my eye watching out. So right now what we're doing is we're working on this book by Sylvia Browne, one of my favorite psychics, called Mystical Traveler. And we're going to continue with some reading. We're starting a new chapter today. We're up on chapter 5, okay, which is called Names Written in Gold. There it is, chapter 5, Names Written in Gold. Okay, so I recommend, if you haven't done so, get this book. Even though we're about halfway through it now, you can still pick it up and follow along. And when we get to the end, they're going to have the induction ceremony. They have in here the ritual to become a mystical traveler, and we're going to teach that. But right now we're just studying and learning what a mystical traveler is and what it entails. So let's go ahead and continue with this. Chapter 5, Names Written in Gold. All right, Sylvia Browne writes. Oops, hold on. I can put on my glasses. Maybe the evil eye can help me to see reading. I like that. All right, reading and writing. Well, it helps me with my psychic readings, but maybe it can help me with my physical eye reading. All right. Francine, by the way, Francine is Sylvia Browne's spirit guide. So that's who she's talking about in this chapter. Francine says that once you accept the mantle of the mystical traveler, you can have a wonderful spiritual life forever. No longer are you concerned with social standing, wealth, materialism, longevity, and the like. You know that the other side is your eternal home, and that this place called Earth is so transitory in comparison. Of course, you can still live well and enjoy the fruits of your honest labor, but they'll always take their place behind God's will. and what your parents want you to do. Wait, let me just pause there. She's talking about our spiritual parents, our Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. Whereas we Wiccans say the God, Goddess, and the God. Okay. As an advanced soul, you're a spiritual pilgrim or pioneer. As time goes on and your work for them has its influence, you'll no longer feel as if you're the only one on a lonely road, for others will step in line behind you or even walk with you. Okay, let's just pause there for a second because I think Sylvia's really hitting on some powerful points here. She's absolutely right in this book that when you take on that mantle of a mystical traveler, now, see, I didn't take my mantle until I was 40. Now I'm 51. So I've been a mystical traveler for 11 years. Now, I've been a psychic for over 30 years. But taking on a mystical traveler is more than just being a psychic. It's about stepping into the full-time calling to work for God. You see? You don't have to be a psychic to do that. This is just how I've chosen to express it. But what she's saying is, during this period, when you first start, you think, wow, I'm kind of lonely. I'm out on my own. There aren't many people that are doing this. And it's true. Around most of the world today, materialism reigns, and people don't really have a lot of heart or passion for the spirit world or for heavenly things. And what Sylvia's saying is, even though when you start on the path, you might feel alone. In time, you're going to find others that come to you that are of like mind, And so I think she's absolutely right. I know that some people have called me recently for readings. They said, Psychic Bob, you're talking about a mystical traveler. I think I'm called to be a mystical traveler. And some of you have read and said, Psychic Bob, I'm scared. Because if I do this, my family's going to turn against me. Well, you know what I say to that? Let them turn against you because you need to stand in your truth and your light, and don't ever let anybody tell you what to do. If God calls you to service in some form for him and her, for them, our heavenly parents, then you can't go wrong. It doesn't matter what people on earth think. And like Sylvia says, here in time, you're going to have people come into your life that will support your mission. You'll never be alone. I promise you that. And I can tell you she's absolutely right about this. Okay, so Sylvia writes, according to my spirit guide, the names of all mystical travelers are written in gold, on the other side. It is similar to the awards and honors that are given to students, philanthropists, entertainers, humanitarian scientists, and so many others in every field or endeavor on this planet. Everyone aspires to some type of acknowledgement. And that doesn't stop when we get home. Francine also says that acknowledgement of such entities brings about the greatest respect, which makes sense to me. Anyone who has worked tirelessly to elevate him or herself and advance spiritually certainly deserves more acclaim than those who fall into apathy or mediocrity. Wow, isn't that cool? So what she's saying here is basically that your efforts aren't forgotten to heaven. Sometimes people call me up and they'll say, Psychic Bob, I'm stepping out on this spiritual path. I'm doing spiritual work. I had a lady recently call me. She worked with earthbound spirits. And she said, Psychic Bob, she says, my whole family thinks I'm crazy. And she said, I feel really alone. Can I really do this? And I said, well, do you believe you're being called by the spirit world? Do you believe God's calling? She said, yes, 100%. I said, well, then don't let anybody stop you. I said, God is with you, and that's all that matters. A lot of people are so caught up in this transitory world that they forget. They forget the truth. And Sylvia is reminding us, let's focus on what's real and what's true. And there is a reward. So your work is not forgotten. I remember when I was in the Spiritualist church, we used to have a program which was a retirement fund for mediums. I don't think they do this anymore, but back in the old days, like the 1900s up through the 60s or 70s, if you joined the Spiritualist church and you became a platform medium and your whole life was serving the church, when you retired, you got a stipend. And I was on a board of directors where we had to approve on people's stipends. And it was amazing because I got to learn the case histories of people that had served in spiritualism as mediums. And one of the votes I was in, it came up, should we approve their stipend? And when I found out this person's case history, I was so amazed. They had done so much spiritual work and really, they deserved their stipend. So we, of course, gave them the stipend. That means they got a monthly check for life in retirement to support them. I thought that was a great honor to give them. And like Sylvia says here, you're not forgotten in heaven. Your name will be written in gold. I don't know if it's written in a ledger or on a wall. I'm not sure. She doesn't say. Maybe she says later. But it'll be written in gold somewhere that everybody's going to know it. I think it's going to be written like in a temple or something. So anyways, think about that. Well, we're going to stop right there because now we're going to have our seance. And for those of you who are new here, this is something we do after our class each week. I am a trance medium. That's spelled Trance, trance, okay? And when I go into a trance state, that's an altered state of consciousness. I set aside my consciousness, and spirit entities that are near me, my guides, temporarily overshadow me, and they speak through me. Now, I want to clarify, this is not possession. Sometimes people write me or call me in a panic. Oh my God, PsychicBob, why are you doing that? You're being possessed. Do you understand how dangerous it is? Possession is very different than trance work. Possession is actually when an evil, low-level entity forcibly takes control of somebody's body and dominates them. Trance mediumship, again, Trance, not trans, trance, is really a voluntary sharing of energy. The spirit guides and I agree to share our energy. We come closer, and I just subside myself just enough that they can take over and use me physically to speak. It's an agreement, a partnership, doesn't hurt, doesn't damage me. They do have to be careful with the frequency because it is a very high vibration, and I do feel it physically come into my body. But at any time I can choose to sever that. I have total free will in this. And they do too. They can withdraw at any time. So it's no danger. We have a working relationship, okay? So I'm going to settle down and go into trance. I got to get the lighting dimmed here. Hang with us, and we're going to start our seance. All right, tubies, I brought our lights down. When I do channeling, trance channeling or trance mediumship, I like a softer light. Now, some mediums work in broad daylight, some work in pitch black. Doesn't matter. I like a subdued lighting. It just makes it better for me to go under. So if you were actually here in my home, which in a sense you are virtually, I'd have you just pull up your chairs here. It would be a little circle. We'd sit in a circle. So pull up your chair to your computer now and know that virtually you are here in our seance circle. I'm going to go under in trance, and we'll see what happens. So I'll see you when I get back. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're in the body here. Well, it's so good to be back with all of you. This is Fletcher here. I'm our medium's guide, and I'm his gatekeeper spirit, and so I'll be regulating who comes in and out of the body. And we always keep our medium safe here. He's a valuable instrument to us. And it's a partnership. As he said earlier, it's all us working together. Ain't nobody dominating nobody. Wouldn't want to do it anyways. But we do have a good time hanging out together. This is Fletcher. I'm going to step out and let some others come through. Over and out. Yes, Felicia, I do believe that I've obtained the body. I do hope that all of you out there can hear me today. Let me introduce myself for those of you who are not familiar with me. My name is Alfred. I have a great debt of gratitude towards this medium, for it was through his mediumship that I was liberated from the state of purgatory. You see, in the spirit world there are various levels of reality. There are lower vibrational levels and higher vibrational levels. Because I had lived my life in debauchery and low energy, I did not attain upon death the higher frequencies. In the lower realms of spirit, it is a place of darkness. It is not so much punishment as it is time out. It is a place where you are removed from the influences that brought you to that state, and you're allowed to reflect on your life, how you've lived, what you've done. I must say, if there's such a thing as hell, I would probably call it very close. It's not a hell of fire and brimstone and torture and demons, but it is a torture of knowing your own self, knowing what you have done and what you have failed to do, and understanding that you have used your life for selfish pleasure rather than spiritual growth. As our medium was saying earlier, we listened to him speaking about spiritual growth, and that those who choose to take on the role of mystical traveler, how they are honored in the spirit world. I can confirm what he has told you today, for over here there are great, vast expanses, temples that do have names written in gold. It is a place of honor, and everyone who goes there has a silent reverence for those who have served the spirit world and humanity. Throughout humanity's history, there have been those who have come into the earth to create great sorrow and great destruction. Those souls find themselves after death in a place of darkness and sorrow. But those souls who try to combat that evil will find themselves in a place of light and beauty. It says in the Bible, as you sow, so shall you reap. This is a spiritual truth. You do not think that suddenly by some deathbed conversion you can attain the heights of heaven. No, this is not possible. There are many churches and religions that say, well, even if you've lived a life of evil, when you die, if you just say, oh God, I'm sorry, suddenly you'll be in the light. This is not a true teaching. You attain the level of the spirit world to which you have vibrated most constantly. If you have lived your life as evil, the very fact that you mumble some words on your deathbed will not suddenly make everything perfect. The law of karmic retribution is true. As you sow, so you shall reap. You've lived your life being hateful and violent and cruel. Upon death you will find yourself in that realm. Likewise, there are those who have sacrificed their own very lives that others might have life and hope and help. These souls find themselves after death in a realm of light, a realm of beauty that you cannot fathom. Your own human eyes could not behold this light without destruction. In fact, your very form, your very body would dissolve in the light. It is so pure and powerful that it would burn you to a crisp. Have you ever seen a moth when he flies into a flame and burns up in a flash of light? This is what would happen to you if by this very moment you were plunged into the light in your human form. No, the light is only attained by spirits who are ready for that light. Do not fear that you are not a saint. Do not say, oh, Alfred, how is it that I'm ever going to attain this light? I'm far from a saint. My dear, we do not require in the heavenly realms that you be a saint. We only require that you be honest, that you try to do the best that you can, that you try to love your fellow human, and try to reach across where there is need and bring hope. Many of you do this daily and not even aware of it. But know that those of us in heaven, those of us in the spirit world, we watch and know. We know your task, we know your deeds, we know all that you do. So do not think that you are forgotten to our realm. The interesting point is that many people that come here to the higher realms are oftentimes surprised. We say, welcome to the spirit world. And they say, how did I get here? I didn't think I would make it this far. I thought I was destined for hell. These souls are so very humble, they would never even assume that they should attain the likes of heaven. Yet they do, because their love of others, their love of spirit, and their humility has allowed them to rise into higher realms. If you're somebody and you're looking at your life today and you're thinking, oh dear, I'm far from attaining that realm, then be very thankful today. Do not be self-condemning, but be self-reflecting. Say, I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to learn this teaching, to become aware of this truth. And if you are here today and can hear my voice, then you know that the spirit world will help you to rise. Never fear that you will be lost, for all souls are eventually saved, though the process for some is longer than others. And if you have a life where you feel less than, you feel that you're not accomplished, then begin today in some small way to set the path right. Perhaps a daily meditation would help you. If you reflect on your life daily, you become very aware of your habits, your good and your bad habits. And if you vow each day to follow the light rather than the darkness, you make a conscious choice. This also raises your vibration. So do not fear that you are unworthy and that you are not a saint. Think that you have a chance to become a saint, and as you think, so you shall become. Fletcher's told me there are others who wish to speak, so I shall not beleaguer the point, but I do hope that I have given you some things to think upon. As our medium often says, it is faith, hope, and love that raises one's power, and I must echo his words, though his words came from another even wiser. But you see, knowledge and truth are knowledge and truth, no matter who says them. So whether you hear it from me, a spirit guide, or whether you hear it from a person on the street, your spirit recognizes truth. Embrace truth, embrace love, and do your best, and you will attain the higher realms of the spirit. I must step from our medium's body now. My name is Alfred. Oh, greetings, my dears. This is Rose. Oh, it's such a blessing to be back with all of you. Every week I sit and listen to Alfred as he comes through our medium, and I always say, dear, how can I follow that one? He's so wise and profound, he is. But you know, my dears, whenever we of the spirit world have the opportunity to come and visit with you, we never like to bypass that opportunity. There are some of you here today who are saying, Rose, did you hear me? I called to you this week. Oh, yes, my dears, I did hear many of you. I should like to address Lisa. Lisa, I know that you called me earlier in the week, and you said, Dear Rose, will you help me with my struggle? I'm so afraid. And Lisa, please know that I am with you. In the coming days, you will have assistance that you need. Do not fear over the financial situation. It shall be resolved soon, my dear, and by the end of August, you will be in a much better place financially. Know that we of the spirit world are helping you. Remember, my dear, to work your hardest, do your part, and we shall do our part. But I wish to acknowledge you today, for you have been calling upon me, and I want to take this opportunity to speak to you directly. So many of you, as I said, have been reaching out and calling to me. And please know that I am coming and helping you, each of you. Not only do I come, but oftentimes I bring with me other spirits. Spirits who want to give you assistance on the way. And you might say, Rose, I called on you, but I picked up another soul, another person. A man came to me, a spirit. I don't know who it was. Well, my dears, that's true. I oftentimes do bring others to you. So if you've called upon me, and you have received a different person, know that it was my work that brought them to you. You know, even here in the spirit world, even though we have expanded possibilities, expanded consciousness, expanded abilities, even we have to occasionally have help. This is why we employ our mediums. Those of you who are mediums do a great service, for you serve as bridges between our world and your world. Those of you who are mediums help the earthbounds. We of the heavenly realms can help, but many times those who are the earthbounds are closer to you on the earth, and so we work through you to help them. And so if you're a medium or aspiring to be a medium, know that you will make great growth by assisting the trapped souls, the troubled souls. Oh, I know some of you said, oh, Rose, that's terrifying to me. That scares me. I don't want to talk to a spirit that's an earthbound. I don't want to talk to a ghost. My dear, do you not know that many of the earthbound souls are more pleasant than even earthly souls, than living people on the earth? Many of the earthbounds are not necessarily evil people, but they are people who, for whatever reason, are afraid to leave the earth. Some of them are afraid and worried for their loved ones. And so as a medium, you can reassure them that their loved ones will be looked after. And if you help them to understand that they can do even more once they cross to the light, oh, well, many of them will go. But see it as your message to them that will assist them. Some of you say, oh, Rose, I'm afraid that the ghosts are going to haunt me. My dears, most earthbounds are not interested in haunting anyone. They only want to do their own thing and be left alone. But you see, to leave them in their current state slows down their spiritual progress. And this is where each of you are most valuable. For if you allow us to come through you, we can assist you in saying the right thing. Have you ever been in a situation, perhaps some of you have done a job interview, where you go in and they ask you a question, and you said, oh dear, I don't know the answer to that. But then suddenly you find yourself speaking, and words are coming out of your mouth in the most eloquent way. And at the end, the interviewer says, oh, you've got the job. You answered the questions magnificently. And you're walking out scratching your head thinking, my dear, how did I answer that? I don't even know what I said. Well, my dears, that is because you allowed us to channel through you. If you struggle with what to say to an earthbound, let us come and help you. Say, Rose, I don't know what to do, but will you work through me? And we shall help you, my dears. Me and all of the others here, we all wish to help you. You're never alone, my dears. And this is the thing you must remember. As our medium was saying earlier, we were listening to his reading of that lovely book. If you ever feel that you're alone, know that the spirit world not only will come and help you, but many times we bring earthly people into your very lives so that you will have a companion along the way. Some of you said, Rose, I've started the spiritual path, but I'm all alone. I don't have any friends. They've all abandoned me. They think I'm daft. They think I'm mad. And my dears, most of the world itself is mad. They've forgotten who they are. It's not that you're mad. It's that they're mad. They have forgotten who they are. But you know the truth. You know who you are. You know where you come from. And more importantly, you even know where you're going. You're really quite ahead of others. And so that path can be lonely, my dears, and we shall bring friends to you. So have confidence in our world, and know that if you're being called to take up that calling of the mystical traveler, we shall assist you most wholeheartedly, for that is our work. So you will never walk alone, my dears. Fletcher tells me that the spirit power is starting to fade, and so I must exit the body. I can feel the power waning, Fletcher, but I was hoping for a few more minutes. Well, my dears, it does look like the power's fading, but we do thank you for gathering with us today. I do hope that wherever you are, that you will know that you can call upon us of the spirit world, but never far away, my dears. We shall help. Please call upon me. Please. Well, Tubies, I have the best time channeling. It feels so good when I come back from trance. It really uplifts my whole energy. If you've enjoyed our little seance today and you want to learn more about my life as a psychic, you might want to check out a copy of my book, Messages from Rose. This is about my early days as a psychic when I was starting out. And you can get this over at my website. I've got a store there, PsychicBob.com. And while you're over there, I've got a lot of other books. I am a published author. One of my other books, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. A lot of you have been asking about this. This is about my 20 years of work as a Wiccan and as a priest of the Wicca. And I've got a lot of art in this book. A lot of you have written, say how much you love the art. So we got pictures. Isn't that great? I did all the artwork in this book as well. So a lot of really cool stuff. So you might want to get this as well. Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. We got Psychic Bob's Book of Spells. You want to do a little magic. We also have Ouija Mysteries, the Spirit Board Seances. All of that and more at my website. A lot of you also have been asking about private readings with me. I have been really booked up on my schedule, so I know some of you are still waiting. But I do still have some openings for this upcoming week, starting on next Tuesday. So call me at my office. You can call now and book ahead, because I'll fill up if you wait till Tuesday to call. My number, put this in your cell phone, 703-825-3929. That's Psychic Bob's phone number. You can call me, 703-825-3929. We'll get you on for a private reading. A private reading is a full hour. It's you and me, one-on-one. And we're going to cover everything: past, present, future, spirit guides, messages from deceased loved ones, all of that and more. We're going to look at your life themes, your mission, your karmic links. A lot of you have been, calling me that's saying, Psychic Bob, I think I'm a mystical traveler. And we've been able to explore that in a reading and really hash that out and see where that's taking you. So, yeah, give me a call. I'd love the chance to sit down and read for you. 703-825-3929. I do my private readings either by telephone or by Skype or by Google Hangouts. So if you want to see me face-to-face live, you can do Google Hangouts or Skype. And if you don't really care and you want to just do a phone, that's easier. It's all the same to me. Doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to do, okay? And while you're over at my website, PsychicBob.com, make sure to pick up your free print today of Biomorph 1952. Get it now, because it's going to be gone by tomorrow, okay? Well, guys, you're the best. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your enthusiasm about all my recent videos. Be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the witching hour. You don't want to miss that. Be here live, 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. And I'm going to go meditate on my mystical evil eye. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Blessed be.